This poem's called The Best of Times and the Worst of Times. Although my illness was present when we first met, I told him about it on our first date. It wasn't very evident. I still had plenty of life in me. We'd take long walks out on the downs, a Sussex man, proud of his land. I was still working a couple of days a week and building my own business up big. Seeing my mates, trucking about, independent lady, doing her thing. I knew that he liked that in me. But gradually, bit by bit, I stopped being able to reboot. Despite my best efforts, the supplements, the yoga, God knows what else, literally a whole other poem to itself, my illness progressed, eroding my foundation, fading my colours, my joie de vivre, everything that I thought made me me. I went from always walking everywhere to sometimes taking the bus, to needing a taxi because I couldn't make the bus stop. The rug was pulled from under the restless go-getter. Time was moving on. I wasn't getting any better. All my blood tests were coming back clear. I was so clean living I could just disappear. My GP was clueless, the internet confusing. Daily I felt my radius shrinking. Felt like the good ship Natty was sinking. I had to stop working, getting out of the house less and less. Lack of understanding caused me so much stress. Life was presenting me with a test. I couldn't see my way out of the mess. He was full of compassion and tenderness. I didn't want him to see me like this. So out of my depth, so out of control. I'd always had an answer, a direction to go. Everything slowed down. My world grew small. This street, this house, this bed, these walls. Nowhere to run. I had nowhere to hide, and he just stayed here, steadfast by my side. Every cell in me just wanted to shut down. I didn't want anyone around. I constricted into myself like an anemone touched, raging at my circumstance, the boom and bust. I wanted to be graceful, but I felt full of grief, tearing at my hair and gnashing at my teeth. He's gonna leave me, he'll have enough one day, tire of my absence, of my blank face, tire of this girlfriend that can't keep pace. I anticipated rejection as I rejected myself. It's like the impact was almost worse on my mental health. I'd sink down into the dark and he'd let me go, but only so far. There'd come a point and he'd call me back to the light, reminding me that this life we got here, it's all right. In fact, these are golden days of us together. We're doing good, me and you. We got the allotment, we're eating beautiful food. We got a roof overhead and water on tap. A home filled with love. Don't forget that. So over time, we have adjusted to this life lived around my CFS. And it's not like we can't get out or do anything, but it's a given that a long anticipated event I might not be able to attend. We've learned to be prepared with a plan B. We've got to be realistic about my needs. I can feel very much like an older relative who can't walk far, who feels the cold, can only eat certain foods, doesn't like bright lights or standing in queues. And the funny thing is because I don't look ill, not everyone gets it. When we're out in the world, it's like it's our own little secret. And I've struggled with being the invisible girlfriend that often doesn't show at family functions, at parties and gigs, the holidays we've cancelled, the things we never did. He goes out without me and does his own thing. I've got better at dealing with this one. But fuck, I miss dancing. I miss seeing my mates, being spontaneous and staying up late. Walking the landscape, breathing the air, running with my wildness, wind in my hair. It's like all that activity, the things I did, defining me, constructing my identity, it was all stripped bare, and I had to find some peace with myself there. It's not like I never get to go out. I have my moments, rocking the mic, finding my way into spaces that feel right, sharing my creations, making connections, bit by bit, building up foundations. So, fast track, up to present day, gradually I've been finding my way. It's not all past tense. I'm still living with this invisible disability. Things are not quite right inside me. Day to day, I still experience reduced capacity. My symptoms fluctuate and so does my mood. But generally I'd say I'm on a more even keel. Healing takes time. In stillness I feel. I'm working with what I've got, one day at a time, with the most amazing man by my side.